Jambo everyone, I trust you're all keeping well and safe. Karibu Sana to our 10th episode of Safari Frame. Today again I have a co-host with me, Mr. Thufain. Karibu Sana.
Thank you very much, Myra. I'm happy to be here once again. It's a new week. I think it's a new beginning for us. We're quite happy that the government has taken a big initiative to open up the country. So one, at least we know the lockdown is finally over. We are free to move within the country.
Yes.
The other one is domestic flights resumed from the 15th of July.
Yep.
So that's a big thing. That means our airports are fully prepared to handle movement of people.
True, very true.
And I think the best part we've been really waiting for is international travel finally opens up. And from the 1st of August, we can receive visitors, and likewise Kenyans can visit the world. So we are very happy about this, and we are really grateful the president took this big decision for us.
That's very true. It is indeed very good news for us and for everyone out there. So Karibu Sana, and hope you don't mind, today we're not taking you to the bush, huh? We're taking you somewhere else.
All right.
We thought, with the good news, a nice holiday, so talking about something as beautiful as our coastal towns and beaches in Kenya and Tanzania. So that's where we want to venture today.
Sounds lovely. Is that why we have a whole, I would say, Swahili breakfast today?
Yes, so we thought we'd treat you as well. We brought you in quite early, so a bit of a treat, would be nice.
Oh yeah, I love what they call the kahawatungu.
Yes.
The strong coffee of Mombasa, or you could say the small islands across the coastal line.
Yeah, they do enjoy that for their breakfast.
Pretty much, yeah.
And then we have a few, this is like part of their delicacies, for breakfast, just a few of them, but didn't bring everything, otherwise I don't think we'd continue with the video. So we have something called samosas, yeah. The pastries made with a bit of meat and pastry flour. Then we have the famous mahamris and the viazi wa karai.
It all looks yummy.
Well, it is for us to eat, so, don't worry. As we go on, I'll give you time to enjoy it.
So we can eat this after the show?
Of course.
All right.
Breakfast has to be there. It's a meal.
I'm looking
but
forward
Swahili
to that.
Breakfast for today.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Yeah?
Sounds good.
Then I'm sure guys must be interested in the coconut, which we've put behind here. Well, the people in the coast love putting coconut in their food, whether it's from a paste, a sauce, to their main dish. It's always there. So welcome to this journey. Come with us as we proceed. All right, so are you ready for our journey to the coastal town?
Oh yeah.
Definite?
Very much.
Before we even start talking about them, do you have any experiences you want to share with us about the coast?
Yeah, sure. That's my hometown. My mom is from Mombasa, so my grandparents were all born in Mombasa. So we've spent, I think, basically all our childhood in Mombasa.
How nice.
So every vacation we had this thing, we want to get down to Mombasa. So I personally had a chance to explore every region of the coast. So I know Mombasa in and out, every alley, every street. So I was quite adventurous also at a very young age. I enjoyed moving around.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So if we need to go down, we should just tell you, please accompany us.
Pretty much, yeah. If you want to be on the right track, you need someone who knows the place, especially if you want to be doing stuff within the city itself, the town.
Yeah. I know, because it has a lot of small alleys and lanes, so
that's the charm.
It does confuse me.
Well, that's the charm of Mombasa because, it's a very historic place.
Yeah.
Mombasa, you could say settlement began as early as like the 13th century.
Really? That long back?
Oh yeah, it was one of the main hubs of trade. Because it was easy for people to come down with their ships and then from there move inland, get goods in and out. Remember that time it was more barter trade?
Yes, it was.
So I think Mombasa has had famous explorers like the likes of Ibn Battuta, who was there I think in around 1331. We had a Chinese explorer by the name of Zheng He, who came around I think 1415. Not forgetting Vasco da Gama, a famous Portuguese explorer,
yes, definitely,
who had a lot of influence along the whole coastal line, starting from I think Lamu, going all the way to Zanzibar. He came around 1498.
Okay.
So I think he came with a vision to understand what's happening, and then later we had like the Portuguese coming and taking over Mombasa. and we built the Fort Jesus in 1593.
Yes.
That's a historic monument which stands strong till today. It's a museum today.
Yes, it is, definitely.
Then we had around, I think, around 1698 we had what we call the Sultanate of Muscat and Oman. They came and took over Mombasa now.
Okay.
Then again, the same system kept going on. So it was more of changing of hands from one to the other.
Okay.
So we had then around 1875, the British took over.
Wow, so it goes back so many centuries.
Yeah.
Centuries.
So I think the coast had this battle between the Portuguese and the Arabs until the British took over. Then British East Africa took over.
Okay.
So they played a bigger role, a bigger significance at that time because we were colonized by the British, so they had a bigger hand in it. But they were quite active in that area.
In that area.
So, for Jesus, like I told you, it stands in Mombasa town itself. Mombasa town is a very small island. It's only about 5.5 square kilometers.
Yeah,
so
it is.
It's tiny. It's very tiny.
It is,
you know, you can move around. I think you can spend a whole day. You can basically move corner to corner.
True. Very true.
Being an island, it has two main channels. It's divided by two main channels. What we call the Chuda Creek, and what we call the Kilindini Harbour. So these are the main parts that divide it. So Mombasa Island itself, it's more, I think, of a business area. We have a residential area, of course, which is the Old Town.
Yes.
The Old Town is beautiful. I've grown up over there. My mom was born in the Old Town. So I love it because it's made up of very small, winding alleys.
Yes.
You know, you're just going through different areas and next thing you've come to another place.
True. That's so true.
So I love that because it gives you that sense of adventure. You don't know what to expect. So you're just moving through one place to the other and next thing you're experiencing something different.
Something totally different.
The houses, because of the Arab influence, it has a very big touch on the Arab kind of architectural work, the concept. The doors, we have special doors.
Yes, the carvings
exactly.
and
in fact, back in the days, your door spoke about you in terms of your status.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
So the more sophisticated your door is, it shows that you are someone prominent.
Oh.
Because that means you spend more money making the door, right?
Of course.
So you had more people doing really a lot of handwork to it. So the doors, I would say that, like I said, the buildings are quite amazing. So Old Town is interconnected. We have different areas, like we have places called Kibokoni, we have places called Kuze, we have places called Bondeni. You need to be there to understand each zone as you move. If I just say the names, it won't really ring a bell, but it's quite deep.
Or maybe you can tell us a specific feature, maybe an example, like in one area or the other, which one would see to differentiate, or is it too difficult?
No, unless you're local. From there, you would understand where you are.
Oh, really?
It's like it has borders. It's like just moving through the city and you have different areas.
Yes.
It's pretty much the same. But when you're from there, you understand this is the borderline. So you're crossing from one path to the other path.
Wow.
So we grew up just next to Fort Jesus. Our house is not far from there.
So you must have been visiting it quite often.
Especially on the beach. We used to go a lot of swimming over there. Yeah.
Oh, quite interesting.
Mombasa Island is interesting for that.
Yes.
In terms of attractions, we have a couple of places that are mandatory for at least a client to experience on an excursion.
All right.
Like Fort Jesus plays a big role.
Of course.
We have an area called Mamangina Drive.
Yes.
It used to be called Lighthouse. So the local people loved going over there and having a drink, what we call madafu. So you can see, like, we have back here a madafu.
Yeah, we had to bring a bit of the, Mombasa setting here to us so that guys can understand what we're talking about.
True. So this is a popular drink. So they open it up for you and you have it. And we even eat what's inside. So I think we don't waste it, We enjoy every part of it.
We just leave the shell.
We do justice to it, So this is one main thing they sell over there at this place, Lighthouse.
Yeah.
Though now it's changed, they've done a lot of improvements, so now it's become, I would say, a very modern waterfront area.
Okay.
So people would love just walking over there. They have a couple of restaurants you can choose to eat over there. As you're overlooking the harbour and the port.
Yes.
Mombasa's port is, I think, the biggest port within our area.
Yeah.
It serves a lot of landlocked countries.
It does.
So sometimes people just enjoy sitting there and you see the big ships crossing by. And right across is what we call South Coast.
Yes.
So you can see it from this side. to go on the other side, you know.
Yeah.
And we also have a delicacy we call, they call it kachri. Basically, it's cassava just sliced up and fried, and then you put some salt and lemon and chili.
Oh, I have tried that. It's absolutely delicious.
Must.
Especially because it's made just right there.
It's fresh.
So it's fresh food, you know. Or you guys have to try that thing, you know.
You need to.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're there, you need to at least experience what it's all about. What's the fuss about?
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So that's what makes also that area quite popular. So you drive around there. We have what we call the famous tusks of Moy Avenue.
Yes.
These are two massive tusks made of course, it's metal.
Yeah.
But it's done on both sides of the road. This was built during, I mean, our colonial days when we had, back then, the Princess Victoria when she was over.
Yeah.
And she was passing through there, so they made for her like more of a welcome inauguration into Mombasa. I mean, sorry, no, it wasn't Princess, it was Princess Elizabeth. Because that time she was a princess.
Yes.
Before she became queen. I mean, history is quite big.
I know.
We can make this episode into seasons if you want to talk about history in detail, you know.
I think we should. And I think maybe we could, you know, all get together and just have a discussion on history.
Yeah. Someday we're going to evaluate and see how to break it down. But you see, it tells you a lot about, especially the British, and how they're closely connected to Kenya.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of affiliation here.
Of course.
Every good thing happens there, definitely happens over here. So that was made for her.
Okay.
So basically that's what we do in the main island. Of course, we have an airport, which is the main airport. It's called Moy International Airport. Connectivity is quite good. International flights land there. Otherwise, we have domestic flights from Nairobi into Mombasa. And now we have the new train, what we call the SGR. That's the standard gauge railway. I mean, for us, it's a revolution because our old train was quite different. It was a longer journey. It was more of a sleeper train or overnight train.
Yes.
And now within 4.5 to 5 hours, you're in Mombasa. So it's really opened up Mombasa
a lot
to people, Then now we have what we call our beach areas, which is divided into two.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm going to talk about Mombasa. So we have two different sides. So we have what we call the North Coast.
Yes.
So North Coast, it's again subdivided into two different areas, main areas, I would say.
Okay.
One is called Nyali.
Yes.
Which is also a very high-end residential area, but we have lots of beach hotels there. And then we have the second sector, which is called Bamburi.
Yeah.
So we have lots of hotels, again, built along the coastline.
Yeah.
Which ends up to a place called Shanzu, and we go all the way to Mtwapa. Yeah. So it's quite a long stretch with different hotels. Of course, you're going to tell us more about the hotels over there.
Yeah.
So connecting Mombasa to North Coast, we have a bridge. So that means you can move in and out anytime you want. And recently they've opened also an airstrip along the North Coast. We call it the Vipingo airstrip. Yeah. So you see, again, flights are taking you closer to the hotel. So you don't have to use the main airport if you want to avoid traffic and all that. Yeah.
That's
those are for the light aircrafts, the smaller aircrafts.
Which still serves a purpose if one wants to reach there faster. True. You don't sit in traffic, you know. I know you would have a bit because it's connecting from one main area to the town. That's quite interesting. What other attractions would you say would one find in North Coast? In
the North Coast, we have a couple of areas which, like I would say, it's a must experience. We have the biggest cement factory, I think, in Africa.
Yeah.
In that area, so it's called the Bamburi Cement Factory.
Yes.
So because they normally dig for limestone, so they had two areas where they dug a lot for limestone. And for many years, it was just left on its own. It was just, nothing really was happening. Yeah. So they decided to convert it into a conservation project.
Oh, that's quite interesting.
It is, because I think today, if you look at it, it's a successful project. One, we have a place called the Mamba Village. Yeah. Mamba means crocodile. We have over 10,000 crocodiles over there.
So many.
Lots of them. So they just kind of categorize them in terms of the sizes, age groups. Yes. And of course, they normally set them free at a certain period when they feel now they need to be out in the wild. Yeah. They normally do that. And then the other one is called Haller Park. Haller Park. Okay. Haller Park is more of a place where you walk. So they have like a pond. We have a couple of antelopes over there. They have a small section of like snakes. So it's a mini snake park. Snake park. Yeah. So you get to see some of the snakes over there. All right. So you can have like a guided tour where someone takes you, explains to you, and all that. Of course, it's not a safari.
No, it's not.
But I think if you're to reflect back as a country, I mean, being very active in conservation,
Yeah.
I think they've done a tremendous job.
Of course, if
You
they
know?
are looking at the environment and protecting what
Sure.
they could, I think it's a good thing that they've done there.
And even I think the bird life has really increased in numbers. I mean, so it's like every other animal knows about this place now. And they also have these big giant tortoises where you can maybe, I mean, if weight allowing, you can sit on them, you know?
Yeah.
They're quite big. So these are two of the main areas I would recommend people to visit.
Okay.
We have a cultural experience. There's a place called Gomongo,
Yeah.
which is just along the same stretch. That's more of a culture experience if you want to understand the people of Mombasa.
Yeah.
Because again, we have a breakdown on the kind of people found along the coastline.
Yeah, because you have quite a number of tribes settling there, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Different tribes.
I mean, if you look at Kenya, we have 44 tribes now,
Yes,
split all over the country.
of course.
Then they're categorized into subgroups. You see, when you're looking at all these groups, subgroups, clans, you know, it becomes
Bigger.
quite big, yeah.
Wow.
So this is what is special around the area. Then we go, of course. Before I forget, I would recommend North Coast, suitable for youngsters or for people keen on nightlife, like they want to move around casinos, they want to see nightlife,
Yes.
they want to hop from one restaurant to the other. North Coast works absolutely
Quite
perfect for
busy
them.
area.
Oh yeah.
Perfect. So, you know, you young guys there, you know where to go or who to contact.
Exactly. Then we have the other area, which is called South Coast.
Yes.
It's quite different.
It's my favorite.
I think everyone has a very close connection to South
To South Coast.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
It's quite different. I would say it's a different ball game because number one, when you're going there, you have to cross
Yeah,
through a ferry.
true.
So we don't have a bridge because that's the main inlet to the port.
Yes.
So they've not built something to kind of obstruct ships from coming in and going out. So we have a ferry that works 24 hours. We have about 4 ferries. So you can always get a ferry.
Of course.
The ferry ride roughly takes about 10 minutes. It's not a long stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's definitely a good experience for people to at least witness that,
Of course.
being in the ferry.
Yeah.
Then we go to Diani Beach. The hotels in Diani Beach are absolutely, I would say, marvelous. But the beach is something else.
Oh, that's very
It is
nice.
something else. It's quite different from North Coast because the South Coast tends to be the beach is more clean.
Yeah.
So it's white sandy beaches with clean water, no seaweeds.
I know. I think it's heaven.
It is. It is.
I could say it's heaven on earth.
I think I would recommend it. Perfect for families, mostly for families, or if you're looking at like honeymooners. It's okay. It's a place for people who do want to be with people, if that sounds correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Has more space.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
so Diani just does the magic. So everyone who was looking for that kind of concept,
Yes.
you should go down to Diani. We have lots of excursions. I mean, we have lots of things you can do, but we also have a small park we call Shimba Hills,
Yes.
which is not far from Diani, of course.
Yeah.
It's the only place we have elephants. So imagine you have elephants along the coastline.
I know, how nice is that?
It's cool.
We cater for everything,
It's
huh?
cool. At one time, they were quite active with leopards. They had lots of leopards over there. So they're saying leopards used to come and meet marine life, you know. That's how the meat goes. Like they used
So
to
the
meet.
leopard comes to meet the fish.
Yeah, something like that.
Alright.
But this was like way back, you know. So of course things have
It's
changed.
changed,
Time has changed. But elephants, yes, we have lots of elephants. But what makes Shimba Hills, I would say, very special is we have an antelope. We call the sable antelope.
Yes, I've heard
So
of
in the
that.
whole of Kenya, that's the only place you will get to see them. They're majestic antelopes,
Oh,
beautiful big horns, and a beautiful coat they have on.
wow.
But
That's
very shy.
quite interesting.
It is. I mean, it's something to see, but it's just that they're too shy. So of course you need to spend time. It's a game drive. You know, game drive, it doesn't mean animals are like tied up somewhere waiting for you.
I know.
So you have to move within. So that's what makes Diani quite different.
Quite different.
Yeah.
Well, so that's quite a vast difference for people to know, you know, what you look. It all depends on what you're looking for, so you can decide between north and south. But I think our personal favorite would still stand for South Coast.
Yeah, I mean, and in terms of excursions, you have options.
In both sides,
Yeah,
north
yeah.
and in south.
You can do kite surfing, you can do skydiving, you can do...
You promised we would go there.
I'll wait for you down. I will still wait for you down. I'll take your pictures from down. I'd rather be safe than sorry.
So, no man, I mean, I think part of doing an adventure in a safari, that would be it.
I don't think I've yet put that in my mind that I want to throw myself off a plane, you know.
No worries. I'll try it. If I reach down, you try it. Then I'll take the picture. If I'm not good, it's okay. You can give me a few.
Sounds good. Yeah. So you can have that. You can do deep sea fishing.
Oh, wow.
We do deep sea diving. So you see, I mean, it's endless. You can see dolphins. We have a place where it's the only place where you see tree climbing crabs. So you come to this place.
Wait. Let's go back. Tree climbing crabs?
Exactly. So you can imagine you come to this place and you're looking around and you're like, where are these guys? And you look up the tree, they're all sitting up and looking at you. So it's
interesting.
I think this country is blessed. It's magical. Every area has just something too special to offer. You know?
Well, you know what they say. I think God's love fell on Kenya.
Pretty much, yeah. So basically, this sums up Mombasa. Of course, Mombasa is big. There's so much to talk about. Mm-hmm. But of course, we need to also.
What we'll do is we'll tell guys, come on a safari, book an escorted safari with Mr. Thane, and then get details of what you're looking for.
Yeah, I think that would work very well.
Plus photography, huh? Don't forget that. Well, you know, it's a good thing to start off with.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fabulous. I mean, that's why we say it's sea, sun, and fun.
Oh yes.
It's a combination of all the beautiful things out there.
Perfect. All right. So that gives us at least an overview of attractions and the differences between the two places. What else would you like to tell us about Mombasa?
I think it's the most important part of your journey.
Okay.
It's fuel for your body. So we're going to talk about food.
Okay, yes, that is for the body.
You need it.
Definitely.
I mean, Mombasa is quite humid in terms of climate. Remember, you're literally at sea level, so you tend to also get hungry.
Yeah.
And Mombasa caters for your hunger, you know. So yeah, we have fancy restaurants where you can get all international cuisines. We have seafood restaurants. We have, you could say, meat places. Mm-hmm. So like options are endless, you know. You can get something for everyone.
Yeah.
But I want to dwell more onto street food. Mm. Yeah.
I like the direction you're going.
Look, I mean, I believe if you're in a local place, you need to experiment what really happens on the ground.
Yes.
So, like I told you, Mombasa is full of small alleys and different kind of areas. So you tend to see we have a lot of small local restaurants, mm-hmm. or you can call them street restaurants.
Yeah.
Of course, barbecue is always a highlight.
Indeed.
And the way those guys make the barbecue, it's totally different.
I know you don't get the same taste in Nairobi.
No, you don't. I think it's the air, it's the water, it's the passion and the love they cook the food with, you know?
Yeah.
So we have something we call mushkaki, which is like meat put on small skewers and they roast it on charcoal, and they all have a special sauce. So each food restaurant or street food has its own kind of sauce.
Oh yeah, that's very true.
Yeah. So each person is known. Like when they talk about Myra, they're like, oh yeah, Myra has this sauce. Tufail has this sauce. You know, that's how they talk about it. So street food you need to try. So yeah, it's definitely meat. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of coconut dishes. Like you talked about coconut.
Yes.
We have specific dishes just full of coconut. Those guys love coconut and they know how to use coconut.
I know I think they're just like, you know, the masters at coconut.
Yeah. So I mean, you have endless options in terms of food. So wherever you go, you're going to get something to eat. Whether it's during the day, of course the night gets more busy because now people want to move around, want to eat, whether it's the locals or whether it's also tourists. Because also tourists hear about these places, they all want to come and experience what's happening out there.
True.
So it's nice because it's very open air, you're sitting out, you're enjoying the fresh air, or the sea breeze we call it, and you're enjoying some fine cuisine. And of course, each place makes up its own juices. Lots of fruits grow in Mombasa, you know, or in that area. So we have delicacies, we have interesting names. Like we have this, my favorite dessert in Mombasa. It's so funny that it's called scud. You know, I mean, it sounds like a mizar, right? But it's not really a mizar. It's scud because it's made up of avocado juice, and you mix up tropical fruits, put inside with a big scoop of ice cream.
Oh, sounds so delicious.
Yeah, so it just works. I think it explodes in your stomach. That's why it's called scud. So it's special. So these are the kind of things you get in Mombasa in terms of food. Not forgetting dessert. Mombasa, we have a special thing, a special sweet dish they call halwa.
Oh, it is mouth-watering. Oh, I so wish I was there right now.
Yeah. You see, halwa is made quite sweet, quite fresh, quite hot.
Yeah.
It's got this rubbery kind of effect, like, you know, when you're pulling it, literally kind of stretches.
Yes.
But this is made, and then you're supposed to have it with what we had earlier, the kahawa.
Yes.
We call it kahawa tungu.
Yeah.
Right? It means strong coffee. But these two work hand in hand.
Yeah.
In fact, also in terms of Islamically, religion-wise, when they have a wedding, a traditional wedding, that's what they give people who have come for the wedding at the mosque. So it's just like a sweet dish and a small glass
something
of your...
to balance the sweetness in your mouth. I think that there's no doubt about it. Their delicacies.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. I think a trip down is necessary.
I think, yeah, it's valid now. You're allowed to move the
We're allowed to move, yeah.
We can start with food, just a food trip before you even end up at the beach.
We can do that.
Yeah. Then the beach is okay. Then you can go and laze around after you've eaten all the junkies, you know.
I know. This is good to relax.
You need to try junk food. You want to be in Mombasa, you need to try that. If you've not tried that, then you're missing out on something.
Oh, and then we mentioned one other thing that is very famous in one of our previous episodes called mabuyus.
Oh yeah. These are the pods from the baobab tree.
Yes.
And they normally open it up. It's got seeds which have got like a coating on it.
Yes.
You can't eat it on its own. So the locals have a special way of making it in syrup. So they have syrup with sugar, with color, with Ribena flavor.
Yeah.
So we have what we call mabuyu. And they also have the dry mangoes, and they call it achari.
Achari.
Oh, that is outstanding. Wherever you go, you find everyone selling.
It's so colorful.
I think it's a snack, you know. Like how you have a hot dog and walk.
Yeah.
In Mombasa, you don't have a hot dog.
No,
you have achari
and
walk. Yeah. So basically, I think that's what sums up Mombasa. Like I said, it's a beautiful place. There's just so much to do, so much to see. You can't get bored over there. You can just explore something new every hour. You know, that's how we can put it.
Yeah. And of course, if you don't want to do anything, you have just that time to relax and enjoy the beach and the water. And okay, I'm a sucker for a swimming pool, but you know, that's just us. For somebody else, the beach is what does it.
Well, I think it varies person to person, because there's some people who go to Mombasa and they don't even go to the beach. They go and hang around the old town.
True.
It gives them more of a drive, more of a passion, that they feel like they're in a historic era, you know.
That's very true.
I would go for that option. Yeah.
So we know it's bush and old history and culture for you.
History, yeah.
It's alright, I'm a beach person. So if you need to find me, you just find me by the pool or in a nice hotel by the beach, you know. That's where.
That works well, yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. So, as we're going on, we can recommend a few of the hotels where people can stay?
You need to.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, you need to.
Okay, so when we're in North Coast, we would recommend a property called Sarova Whitesands Beach Resort. It has about 340 rooms. They're split in different categories. Of course, I'm not going to name them for you. It has about 3 restaurants, bars, about 3-4 pools, 5 pools, spa. Huge property, you know, and beautifully done, I must say.
Oh yeah. Sarova is a big brand, definitely. I mean, Sarova have properties not just on the beach, but also in the bush.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Whitesands is a flagship for them. It's a very old property. It's been there for long, but of course they keep bringing up the place, redoing the place.
Yes.
I would recommend it. It's a beautiful place. I mean, it's built over a large land.
It is.
So you have this sense of freedom.
Yes.
Space. You know, when you're going for a vacation, what do you want? You want to be away from people.
Yeah.
So whether you're a couple or whether you're a family, you can have your own spot and you feel like you're in your own paradise. It has a large stretch of land, I mean, because it's a beachfront property.
Yes, it is.
So you can access the beach from basically
different
every
parts
area.
of the hotel.
So as a 5-star, highly recommended.
Perfect. Then we have another one we talk about is the Voyager Beach Resort. This one has about over 300 rooms, again in different categories with restaurants, bars. It has about 3 pools, the spa, the normal amenities you'd look for facilities in a resort. For a 4-star property, I think I would give it a thumbs up. It's also on a good stretch of beach, not
Pretty
so
much,
bad. Yeah. Anything you would like to add about Voyager?
Voyager, you see the name itself is more of like a voyage, you're going for a voyage.
Yes.
So they've kind of had a concept where it's like a big ship. That's what they call it, it's a big ship. So they have themed nights where they try and say like today a ship has docked in from Brazil, a ship has docked in from Portugal, and that day you find the theme, the dress code, everything goes with that theme. So at night you have an entertainment group that will focus basically on that specific area
How
they're talking
creative
about.
are they?
It is nice because even they don't call them rooms, they call them cabins. So you see, they're trying to make it look like it's a massive ship. But I think it's nice because it's also spread out well. They have different categories of rooms.
Yes.
I think everything about it is also good. So for a 4-star clientele, it does the job pretty well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, perfect. Then one other place we'd talk about is it's Bamburi Beach Resort. It has about 150 rooms, again with the different restaurants and bars and 2 pools, usual amenities. It's quite nice, not so big, but good enough. Anything to say about the Bamburi?
I think you've summed the hotel pretty much as it is. Yeah, it does work well for 3-star.
Yeah.
I mean, the best part about North Coast is we don't have a limiting factor.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean like you've said 300 rooms. It doesn't mean all hotels have got 300 rooms.
No.
You want to have a boutique experience, you will still get it.
Yes.
So we have something for everyone.
That's very true.
Yeah. So I mean that's the best part about North Coast. And like I told you, convenience, mobility, accessibility.
Yes.
It just works pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Then let's go to South Coast, my personal favorite. I think I'm in love with 3/4 of the properties in that place because everyone is different from the other. But I think it's the openness of that place that draws somebody there. Or personally, I could speak from my experience. That's what draws me there.
I agree with you. Yeah.
So even in boutique category for South Coast, you'd have quite a number of hotels that you can work with. But we would talk about, it's called the Maji Beach Boutique Hotel.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm speechless. It's really beautiful. It just has 15 rooms. And each room is differently decorated or designed. It's totally different. It has a main a meandering swimming pool and one cafe, a small lounge cafe, and a dining room.
All right.
But the good thing with them is if you want to have your meals in the garden which faces the beach, you can have your meals there as well.
What more could you ask for?
I know, right? Yeah. If you want it in your room, you can have it in your room.
Yeah.
And their timings are also, you take it as whatever time you want. So you tell them what time you want to eat, what you want to eat, and when you want to eat.
Yep.
So,
Sums it up.
Oh, yeah. For somebody who wants to enjoy leisure, you have it. To the extent.
I think I would agree with you because if you've talked about a boutique, you've talked about 15 rooms. So that tells you something about the place, that it's a very small property, it's very private. It gives you that sense of being on your own.
Exactly.
You can feel like you're in your private resort, I'm sure.
You are.
Yeah, I know you like going there a lot. That's why you enjoy small places, not crowded.
Yes.
But I would agree with you because I personally would like a small place where I don't have to bump into people.
Yes.
It's my space, I just want to do my own stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So I think Maji does a good job, and it's a brilliant property.
Then we would talk about this other place. It's called Leopard Beach Resort. We put it in a 5-star category. It has about 178 rooms. It has about a vast number of restaurants and bars for you to choose from, with a pool and their spa. So very nicely done, I must say. Your thoughts on it? I think I spoke a lot about Maji.
Well, I love Leopard.
Okay.
I love Leopard. No, not because of the name Leopard. Yeah, I know you might think that just because I love leopards I love the hotel. But the hotel is brilliant. In fact, last year they've done a major renovation. Oh, it's outstanding. The rooms, you just want to sit in the room. Or you just got the balcony, you're overlooking the ocean.
Yeah.
So I think it's quite spread out, where you have rooms that are facing the ocean, you have rooms that are facing the garden.
Yes.
But it's built on big land, so you have space to walk. You have good places to access the beach. You have one area that they call like a private beach. It's not too crowded, and then you have one that is for everyone.
Yes.
So I would definitely recommend Leopard, and I personally love it for one reason. There's one specific area in the hotel where they have lots of cobwebs. So we have the massive, we call them the golden orb spider, the weavers.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. So whenever you pass there, so whenever I'm there, I'm always hanging around the area. I think I'm the only lunatic who goes there. But the spiders are so big, and you just find them like on the web.
Wow.
So I love it. For my photography, I spend more time over there than I go swimming later. But yes, brilliant hotel. For 5-star, definitely we give it marks.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so we move on to the next one. We have Southern Palms Beach Resort. Also in South Coast, it has about 298 rooms. Has 2 pools, a number of restaurants and bars, I think 4 each or something like that. It has its gift shop and everything. Also a beautiful place. Vastly spread on vast grounds. I must say their beach is also quite good.
Oh yeah,
very good.
It is, yes.
You know. So anything else you want to add on this place?
You've summed it up. Of course, Southern Palms is also one of my favorite hotels, and likewise, even they've done a major renovation. So I think our hotels have changed the concept. They've tried to bring in some freshness.
Yes.
Some new concepts, some new colors. You know, end of the day, your room plays a big role in your vacation.
Of course it does.
So your room has to be warm and welcoming. If it's not, then you will not enjoy being in the room.
That's true.
So I think they've taken the initiative of trying to put it on, raise the bar.
Yeah.
So for me, that is nice. It's a beautiful hotel. It's big, like you've said.
It is. It's
in fact,
massive.
I think they have the biggest pool in South Coast.
Yes, one of the biggest.
One of the biggest, right? Because it's literally everywhere. So you're dining, you can see the pool.
Yes.
You're walking, you can see the pool. So I think they just tempt you to swim every time you're at the hotel.
Of course.
You know.
I mean, that's what you're there in Mombasa for, huh?
No, it's brilliant. Yeah.
Okay, then one of the other properties we'd recommend is the Jacaranda Indian Ocean Beach Resort. It has about 100 rooms in different categories, about 3 restaurants, pool, bars. Again, it's also spread out quite on a good piece of land. Beach is good. Whoa. Anything else you want to add on this one?
I know this may sound funny. I keep saying this is my favorite. I love Jacaranda too. I love all hotels. I wouldn't be biased. I wouldn't say, you know.
Yeah.
I give each hotel credit for what they do. And of course, we don't want every hotel to look alike.
No.
Then it doesn't really create anything fascinating.
True.
So Jacaranda is a brilliant property. I mean, the way it's done up, the stretch of land is quite big.
Yeah.
The beach accessibility is so big. I mean, you can literally run to the beach from your room.
Oh.
So you don't have to like come to a common area to cross over.
Yeah.
You can just open your door, especially if you have like the oceanfront rooms.
Yes.
It's not even 5 or 6 meters away and you're swimming.
Oh.
So at night you're just sitting there, you can hear the waves, you know. I think it's very relaxing. It's good for people who are looking for therapy of being in a quiet area with water.
Yeah.
So it's a good property. Yeah.
And the thing is, there are other options. These are just a few that we have mentioned, but variety is a lot. So feel free, contact us for different options if you don't want the ones we've mentioned. But we'll always give you what you're looking for.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, like I said, there are many hotels. So we're just giving you ideas right now. But I mean, it's endless. The list is endless.
Yes, and no one hotel is similar to the other.
Yeah.
That's the best part of it all.
True. All right.
right. So we've talked about all the hotels in Mombasa, north and south. What next? Where to next? Tell me.
Oh,
You're the expert.
now we're moving on to a magical place.
Ooh,
But
la.
before we get to the magical land, we'll make a short stop at a place called Malindi. Malindi is our little Italy. We call it small Italy.
I agree.
Yeah,
I do,
everyone
I do.
speaks Italian. Of course, we have lots of Italian influence over there.
Uh-huh.
We have lots of hotels over there, but especially for people coming from Italy.
Yeah.
In fact, it's one of the main places where we have, you could say, deep sea fishing or big game fishing.
Yeah.
Especially the Mullins, people go there. But the best part about fishing there is that we tag and release. So it doesn't mean that we eat the fish. So we also protect what we have.
Perfect.
Yeah, so the numbers are doing pretty good. So it's a hotspot, I would say. History takes us back to, I think, about 1498 when Vasco da Gama, the Portuguese explorer, when he was coming through.
Yes.
His first stop was Malindi.
All right.
So we have a pillar till today, it's called the Vasco da Gama pillar. So I think they built it more of just like a way for the ships to identify that they've reached their destination.
Okay.
Yeah.
How interesting was it to explore in back then days?
It is. I think it was quite different. I think it was exciting.
I know, I
You
would
know?
have loved to be born in those centuries, to explore that way.
I would agree to, because you didn't have anything modern, we didn't have any amenities or gadgets to tell you where you're going.
Exactly.
You just follow the wind and next thing you've reached somewhere.
Wow.
No visa, no passport, no nothing, you
I
just sail through.
You go with what you have and you see, wow, I mean, I'm still speechless over certain places.
No, it's good. And places of interest, we have a national park, it's called Arabuko Sokoke.
Yeah.
It's a national park of an area called Watamu. It's a spectacular place. It's quite densely forested. We have elephants over there, so we also have some areas where you can really get on a higher platform and you can see the elephants cross.
Yeah.
But I will talk about two important things that I found there. One, we have something called the elephant shrew.
The elephant?
Shrew.
Shrew.
Yeah.
Wow.
It looks like a rat, so I think it's part of. Okay, it looks like a rat, but if you look at the mouth area, it looks more of a trunk.
Oh.
So it's the size of a rat, but it looks like an elephant. So that's why it's called the elephant shrew.
Shrew. Okay.
Yeah. So we have them a lot in the forest, and we have the smallest owls, I think, in the world. They're called the African scopes, and it's amazing because they live in pairs. So they stay together as a couple. And the numbers are doing very well, because the last time when I was there, we had a count of over 1,000 pairs within the park. So that is something magnificent people need to explore.
Wow, sounds fascinating.
Yeah.
Any other attraction on that side?
We've been having, we have dolphins, of course. Dolphins keep migrating. We have the humpback dolphins. We have the spotted dolphins. But we've also had whales migrating. I think for the past 2 or 3 years now, we have the whales that migrate when they're moving down towards the southern part.
Yes.
The humpback whales. So they've been spotted over there on a couple of instances. So that becomes something magnificent, because now I don't think we're going to talk about the big 5. Now we're going to be talking about the big 6.
Big 6, I know.
Because we're going to have something extraordinary.
I know.
So that is nice.
I think that we should try that out as well. Going to see if we can spot the whales, dolphins.
Well, I mean, anything to do with wildlife and marine life, I'm game anytime.
Only not skydiving.
Yeah. Except throwing myself from something or going zip lining again, hanging in the middle of nowhere. I wouldn't do those things. Not that I'm scared. They're fun. They're fun things to do. But the camera guy has to be safe at all times. He's the one taking pictures, right? So he has to be waiting on the other side.
Okay.
So I would leave some things for the rest, and I would do the appropriate stuff.
Appropriate, no problem.
Yeah.
As long as we go there as a team, we're good to go. We'll figure out who does what.
Yeah. Just count me out of the main stuff. But I'm in. I'm totally in. So basically that's Malindi. Oh yeah, and we have an airport. We have an airport in Malindi. It's called the Malindi Airport.
We do.
So we have flights connecting in from Nairobi, coming in from Mombasa. So it's a busy airport in that area. So it does the job again pretty well.
Yeah, and the hotels are not very far from the airport.
No, you see, Malindi being a smaller place means less traffic.
Exactly.
You're either driving to Malindi or either driving to Watamu.
Yeah.
Watamu is where we have most of the hotels.
Yes.
But it's not far to move through.
True.
Yeah.
Enough. Oh, that sums up Malindi and Watamu quite well. Next stop.
Oh,
I'm
now.
I'm eagerly waiting, to hear what next you're telling us. This has been such a...
We are going to paradise. That's
Right.
for sure. We are going to paradise. We are going to a place called Lamu.
Oh,
Yes.
when you say paradise, I actually agree with you on that one.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a magnificent place. It's part of what we call the Lamu archipelago,
Yeah.
which comprises of Lamu itself. So you can either call it Lamu, you can call it Lamu town.
Yes.
We have Shela, which can also be referred to as Shela village,
Okay.
and we have Manda. Now, the interesting part about this is the airport. The airport is in Manda Island, all right?
Yeah.
So it's so nice that when you land at this airport, you pick your stuff and you exit the airport.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to walk to a pier where your boat is waiting for you.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, it's so cool. You wouldn't get that anywhere where you're just walking straight from the airport to a boat
To a boat.
to go to your hotel.
Right.
So we have the first point, of course, being Lamu town, which is roughly 10 meters across.
Okay.
And if you're staying at Shela or you're staying at Manda, then yeah, you're looking at about 15 to 20 minutes. Of course, these are motorboats. It's a beautiful ride as you drive through, because you get to see all the history and the rich, beautiful buildings that are built on this island.
Right.
So Lamu, well, let's talk about Lamu town itself. It's, I mean, if you're looking at settlement, it began as early as the 13th century.
Wow, so our history just keeps on going back and back and
Pretty
back.
much,
I mean,
pretty much.
That's so amazing.
It is, because if you look at the 13th century, at that time people were trading.
Yeah.
So we had the Indians coming over, we had the Arabs coming over, we had the Portuguese. So everyone was coming for trading at that time.
Yes.
So what they used to do is that, because remember that time they used to just sail with the boats with the wind.
True.
So they used to come all the way to Lamu and eventually settle there for a while as they wait for the wind to shift so they can go back with the wind
Yeah.
to wherever they've come from.
True.
So all these explorers, or you could say tradesmen at that time, intermarried the local people over there
Of course.
because they were spending more time over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
they all formed families. So I think that's why we have like a mixed culture, a mixed race. If you look at food, we've got cuisine, not just African cuisine, but we have cuisine now from all these places.
Yeah.
Coming from
yeah.
the Indian zone, coming from the Arab zone, the
True.
Portuguese. So I think that's why if you look at all these guys in common, we all have, I think, spices as the main thing, right?
Right.
So all that put things together. We have the fort. The Lamu, it's called the Lamu Fort.
Fort, yeah.
It was completed in around 1820. It was done by the Sultan of Pate.
What?
I mean, when you come to the fort, it's one massive structure.
Wow.
It's beautiful because when you're walking on the main street, Lamu has one main street, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you something. It's one main street. We got no cars.
How perfect.
Yeah. Because there are no roads for the cars. Okay, they used to have one car for the chief.
Yes.
They don't understand where he was going with the car because he could only drive from home to the office and maybe go back,
Yeah.
So it's one straight road and then you have everything over there. So it's more of bikes and more of donkeys. So people use donkeys as a mode of transport.
Really?
Yeah. So you can also get a donkey and just move around.
Wow.
I mean, if you look at the count of donkeys in the island,
Yeah.
they are 3,000 in number. 3,000
So many.
donkeys. Oh yeah. So it's like everyone, it's like the Wild West when everyone owned a horse.
Yes.
In Lamu, everyone owns a donkey.
So that's our wild.
So
Lamu.
3,000 donkeys is not a small number. That's
Of
a huge
course,
number.
It is.
And they also introduced what you call a donkey sanctuary.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, because you see
Very
the
nice.
donkeys, apart from transport, they're also used to transport commodities. So I think they introduced this sanctuary just to ensure that people are also treating the donkeys right.
That's true.
You see, we have good movements in Kenya in terms of this kind of stuff, where we also protect. We don't just mistreat, animals. So it's a good initiative.
It is a very good initiative for guys to look into.
So that's something good. So the fort is amazing. I mean, built in 1820s, and until today it stands as firm as it was.
Wow, that must be a sight to behold.
Oh yeah, I would say that. It's nice because you just come through, you're walking through an open air market and behold, you find this massive building, the structure that stands behind you. It's magical, man. It's something I don't think you would get anywhere. So the feeling, the experience is definitely a special one. So you can walk through the market, you want to get some fruits and you want to get some veggies and all that. So everything is there. Then you go through the old town now.
Yeah.
This is now you're walking through all the small alleys. the same concept we had in Mombasa,
Right.
with the small alleys and the structure. I mean the ancient structures of the
Yes.
Arabian era. We have the same there. You've just got multiple areas, and you're just walking through, and you just come across kids, you come across people, and the people are so amazing and so loving. Every time you come across someone, they want to say hi. They ask you, "Are you okay? Are you lost? Do you need this?" You know, like they're always
Yeah.
willing to
assist
help
you.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
it's
really
amazing.
nice.
You just feel like you're in a different place.
That's a home away from home.
Oh yeah, I'm in love with that place. Right? I would definitely rank Lamu, I think, as one of the best places, not just in Africa, but in the world.
In the world.
Oh yeah, it's good. So that's what sums up Lamu. So Lamu is more of the trading area. So we have businesses over there. We have small shops. Sorry, we have food. Oh man, seafood is just like everywhere. You can
We
just
are food
eat.
lovers, guys. Don't mind. We love our food here, and it's fresh and always available. You know.
Every corner. You just walk on the street and you find a guy giving you a full lobster. You can find the red snapper, the white snapper, you know, like, you name it.
Yeah.
Whatever comes from the sea, you'll get it over there. Of course, stuff that you can eat.
Of course.
Yeah. So that's the nice thing about Lamu. Then we have the other area we call Shella.
Okay.
So Shella is more now of a touristic area where we have our beach hotels.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, if you're fit enough to walk, you can walk from Lamu to Shella. It's almost about, I would say, 45 minutes walk.
Not so bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, depending on the weather also. You know, the weather also tends to get you a bit down.
It does. That's true. The heat. So, but if you wake up like really early in the morning, you can make it.
Oh yeah, it's good then. So anyway, you can walk or you can take a boat. So we have a boat that works on a private basis, and we also have a boat that works like a bus, like a scheduled bus.
Wow. So they have a scheduled bus.
Pretty
ride.
much. Yes, they park the boat there, and people know that the boat's supposed to leave at this hour. And of course, they have a specific number of people required.
Yes.
You fill it up and you move on the other side. 15 minutes and you've reached Shella. Now Shella is, again, it's different. I mean, I know I'm just using the word magical, but that's what it is. It is like that. It's full of alleys. Hotels are built on the forefront. So we have beach hotels spread all over. We have guest houses. It's become a very common place for yoga.
Right.
We have yoga culture festivals nowadays that happen every year. So people just love it. There's just too much Lamu offers.
I can see that.
But beyond the hotels, we have sand dunes. That just makes it more interesting.
That's like two different nature settings.
Together.
Wow.
It's like sand dunes ending at the beach. So it's like we having a desert ending at the beach.
How magnificent.
It is. That's why I say that's what you call behold. You know, when you get there and people are just like, no way.
Lo behold.
Oh yeah, I mean, it just has everything you want in a place. So I would say Lamu definitely. Lamu, okay, it's good for honeymooners, it's good for couples, it's good for families, but it's good for people who are looking for this intimate kind of experience, you know?
Yeah.
You want to be away from everything. We don't have modern facilities, we don't have a mall, we don't have a cinema, you know, we don't have these kind of things.
Yes.
So it's just taking you back to time. So you feel, when you land in Lamu, it's like you've gone back 1,000 years. That's the kind of feeling you get in your head.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It does sound pretty amazing. And I think it's number one on my list right now.
It is. It should be. It should be on everyone's list, I would say. I mean, this is something people need to see. You know, experience it. And trust me, people will keep coming back. For this experience, they will keep coming back because we have something unique. It's a unique cellar. So right across Shella, we have now what we call the Manda Island.
Yeah.
Or the Manda Bay area. So there we have again hotels. It's more private on that side because you have to cross on the other side.
Yes.
So it's more of a private area. We have fantastic hotels over there. So it also works pretty good for people looking at that area.
Okay.
But definitely Lamu, Shella, oh, it's unbelievable.
Okay.
It does a good job.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So anything else you want to share, or can we move on to our next step and recommend a few places where guys can stay?
I mean, I can talk about Lamu the whole day.
The whole day.
The whole day. everything else is to be seen there. But there's something to point out.
Yeah.
Lamu, because it's built, Lamu is a channel. Anyway, Lamu, between Lamu and Manda, it's a channel.
Okay.
So in that channel, we have a lot of mangrove plantations, massive ones. So the local people use the plantation a lot, the mangrove trees. One, to make houses, house structures, pillars and everything.
All right.
Two is to make dhows, traditional dhows. Do you know within the East African area, Lamu is the only place where they make the wooden dhows.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Well, that's quite interesting.
It is.
Very, spectacular that they do it by themselves.
You need to see the kind of work they do. It's clean job. It's clean. It's just wood and gum, and they stitch it together, and you have something magnificent floating.
Wow.
So they are big with that. It's a big industry in Lamu.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I think, guys, you guys really need to make a trip down there, and maybe I'll join one trip and go down and see how fast we can see it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. That's all right.
So right. So that gives us a good overview of Lamu.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right. So we can recommend a couple of places that you can stay while you're visiting that place. We talk about one being the Majlis. Again, one thing you need to know about all the hotels there is they are all very small and compact. You know, don't have everything, but they have the main things required for your stay. So Majlis in 5-star category would recommend about 39 rooms, 2 pools, a bar and restaurant. Yeah. Then we'd have Peponi Hotel. Has about 28 rooms with the usual pool, bar, restaurant is all available there. And one other place we'd recommend is the Kijani Hotel, right? This one is pretty small, has 10 rooms, but it has 2 freshwater swimming pools.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
And a rooftop restaurant and bar. So small but compact, as I said, gives you everything you're looking for. So this journey has really been breathtaking. What else are you telling us about the coastal part now?
I think you've summed up the hotels pretty well. I would add that Majlis is based on Manda Island.
Okay.
It's a beautiful facility. In fact, I would rate it as one of the best hotels we have along our coast.
Okay.
It has a beautiful touch to it. The architecture, the color, the art inside, it's magnificent. Okay. So it really stands out well. Peponi is now towards Shela Village.
All right.
It's one of the best beach properties we have on that side. So definitely it's a property also worth to stay at. Kijani House is more of a smaller property.
Yeah.
We put them at, I think, between 3 to 4 star. It's a smaller property there. But it's also nice because it is in Shela Village.
Yes.
But you have to access the beach, you have to walk like about 3 or 4 minutes from the hotel.
Okay.
But
that's not
each hotel is quite different, and that's the concept of Lamu. Lamu has a different touch. Even the way you look at a 5-star, it's quite different than what you look at in a city hotel or I don't know, a bush lodge. It's totally different.
Totally different.
Yeah. So I think that's what we can say about Lamu today.
Okay.
I mean, Lamu is big, like I told you. We can discuss about it the whole day, but I think this is enough for now, and the rest is for you to come and experience for yourself.
I quite agree on that.
Yep.
Yeah. Right, so our next part of our little adventure.
This is our final destination. Now we're moving over to our neighboring country. We're moving over to Zanzibar.
All right.
Of course, Zanzibar is well known all over the world. Everyone talks about it as one of the best beach destinations. So Zanzibar comes under what we call the Zanzibar Archipelago, which has Zanzibar, which is also known as Unguja. We have the Mafia Island and we have the Pemba Island.
Okay.
So these 3 make up what we call the archipelago of Zanzibar now. Zanzibar itself is an island. One of the main attractions is definitely Stone Town.
Yes.
It is a World Heritage Site. It's pretty amazing. I mean, we have the same concept because if you're looking at history, we still have Vasco da Gama who was there. We have the Omani people who were there. We have people. The influence has been existing ever since. Back in time.
Yeah, of course.
So they have done a lot of stuff. The concept, we still have the Arab design in terms of the buildings.
Yeah.
So Stone Town is very important. So it's a nice place you drive through, you can walk through. We have lots of hotels. We have again lots of local places for local cuisine. So it's a nice place you can walk through. So it gives people a glimpse of history.
Of course.
So nice for people to experience that for a change, apart from just being in the hotel.
Yeah.
Zanzibar is quite stretched out. We have lots of hotels. You know, they're categorized zone-wise because it's an island, so they have different areas, you know.
Yes.
But I would recommend things to do for people. Definitely, we have the spice tour. Because spice tour is quite famous because they grow the black pepper, the cloves, and also cinnamon. This are grown a lot over there. We have the Jozani forest, which is also a nice place for people to have a walk inside there, a guided walk.
All right.
It's famous for the red Colobus monkey.
Yeah.
Like we have the black and white, they have the red and white.
Okay.
Again, they have something very rare. It's called the Zanzibar leopard.
Zanzibar leopard.
Yes. It is very rare.
Okay.
So if you're lucky, you will get to see it. So this is something special about the island.
I didn't know about that.
These are things you need to know about what's hidden in there, you know.
It's hidden,
But of course, you need to spend time. Like I said, it's a walk, humidity. So there's a lot of factors involved in this. So you really need to be patient if you're looking for this kind of things.
Okay.
Yeah. And one experience, or one rather nice restaurant to experience is called The Rock. It's built, it's about 30 meters away from the beach, so it's in the ocean. So mostly when you're going in, there's no tide, so you can walk in.
Oh.
But by the time you're done with your food, you have to come back by boat.
Nice.
Or vice versa, yeah.
Well, that's pretty interesting.
It is nice. I mean, they have a nice cuisine. The setup is pretty good. And when you look around you, the panoramic view is just ocean.
I know.
So you feel like you're in a small island restaurant, you know. So I think it's quite touching.
Of course.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I mean, that's how it sums up Zanzibar. So the rest is more about just hotels. We have lots and lots of hotels in different areas.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I know we, for your info, we have, I think, over 200 hotels.
You could say that, yeah.
And I don't know what to start telling you what is good, but yes, there are a couple we would mention are good, but you have an array of options to choose from. So get in touch with us, let us know what you're looking for, and then we would accordingly recommend places for you. Yeah?
That sounds alright, but you can give them a few names so they can know some nice names of what to look out for in Zanzibar.
Well, yes, in Stone Town, we would recommend a place called Park Hyatt. And then we have the Zanzibar Serena Hotel.
Yeah.
If you're going towards Nungwi, Nungwi we have like Gold Zanzibar and La Gemma. Beautiful places.
Beautiful places.
And then towards the east coast we have Blue Bay Beach Resort and Waridi Beach Resort. So these are just a few. As I said, it's over 200 hotels. You know, you have options there. So anything you want to add?
No, I think you've seen it all. Zanzibar has it all. They have the most boutique hotel to the most basic hotel.
Yeah.
So there's something for everyone.
For everyone. Wow, so that I guess sums up everything on our coast from Kenya to Tanzania.
I would say a short summary.
Oh really?
Yeah. I mean, we can make a whole movie talking about each place. It's quite big, you know, in terms of size.
Right.
But yeah, I think we've summed it up pretty well.
Perfect. However, one question I do have to ask. I know our Kenyan tribes or everyone in Kenya, Tanzania loves music. What sort of music do the people in the coast really like listen to, or do they have any bands or anything? Oh yeah.
I think that's where Kenyan music really came up from.
You really?
Oh yeah. We have credit to a band called the Safari Sound Band. In fact, they sing popular songs out there. Like one song I'll give you is a famous one, and I think every tourist goes back home with the lyrics in mind. It's called Jambo Bwana.
Of course.
Yeah.
Famous one.
You're looking back to another song of this, which is quite popular. You know, in Mombasa, we don't rush people. Everything is pole pole. Pole pole means slow, like take it easy, chill out, you know. So even there's a song behind it. It's called Pole Pole.
Wow.
So you see, we have a song for every instance. Now we have a song. This is a love song. I think it's one of the best songs ever written for love. It's called Malaika, which means angel.
Angel. Wow. Wow. Wow.
If you listen to the lyrics, it's interesting because it's someone trying to explain or express his love, but he's telling her he's got nothing apart from love to give.
I think it's making me feel get a chill over. Wow.
So you see, even our Coastalians are quite romantic.
I can see that.
And we have another popular song which I think really talks about Kenya. We call it Karibuni Kenya.
Listen to this one, guys. Just listen to it. I think that's just amazing.
This band, I think, did an outstanding job. These are Kenyan songs, which were sang by Kenyans, and of course, especially in our industry, they're very popular songs.
But they mean everything. What more do you want to tell somebody? Come here, you know.
Today, across the borders, you'll see our neighbors using the same song as a way of entertaining their clients. But the birthplace of these songs is Mombasa, in Kenya. And there's one song, I think it's a very close song because I literally grew up with this song.
Really?
From the time we were kids, especially hanging around Mombasa. It was like playing every other day at everyone's house. Wherever you go, it's the same song. It's a nice song. It's called Msenangu. You need to hear it.
Of course. Why not? Wow.
Yeah. Of course, the dialect is quite different.
Yes.
But it has a lot of meaning. In fact, it was like sang literally every place. If there's a big function, if there's a football match, if anything, that song had to be there.
Had to be there.
It was the in song, you know. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty nice.
So these are the popular bands of Mombasa that really brought a nice revolution to music. Quite famous, not just in Mombasa, but definitely within the country and also regionally.
Of course.
You know, I mean, we're all kind of connected, and Africa is so rich in music and so rich in dance. So you find music tends to move from one area to the other area.
Of course, yeah, it does.
Now the other part we're going to talk about is, you know, Mombasa guys love their weddings.
Oh, definitely. Wow, it's a whole. I have no word. I think I'm even lost of a word to say about how their weddings are grand.
I agree. I mean, it's supposed to be a special day. It's supposed to be a big deal because you get married. But they really do it the big way.
I know.
All right. Yeah. So the Mombasa, especially the women, because we have functions just for the women.
Yes.
Where they come and do their own dance, you know.
Yes.
And they love the local music we call taarab or we call taarabu. It's something different. You need to hear this. This was one of the most popular songs back in the days. You just had to move your
I
body,
know.
just in one position. I think that sums up our costume. Our costume. We just had to put a flavor of music.
Of course.
Maybe next time we'll look for dancers to come and
dance for
dance
us.
for us. Yeah, we need to have some entertainment also.
Of course, why not? But talking about that, I know they also love doing their henna for their weddings with a lot of jewelry.
Yeah.
Gold is especially like it's a must with them.
It's big.
It is.
Because henna, we have two types of henna. You know, everyone knows the traditional henna, which is just called henna.
Yes.
But the Swahili people or the people of Mombasa or the coast area, they love something called peacock.
Yeah.
It's more dark, it's more refined, it looks like a tattoo if you look at it.
If you do
they have nights when all the women come and everyone's applied for this stuff, like in a big group. So it's pumped, man, it's big. These guys make everything look like serious. So it is a wedding you need to experience, you need to be part of it, and of course the food is...
mind-blowing?
Yeah, we always talk about food, we're crazy about food, we love food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think in a way we do have the best different cuisines available.
Very much, yeah.
All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know it's a bit long, but we've touched on a lot of different things, on history, on places of attractions, different hotels, and what is different about the small differences in each place. Really hope you've enjoyed that. And thank you so much for coming in and giving us again this insight. Again, I say we being here sometimes do tend to overlook a lot of things,
True.
But it's been a magnificent journey. And yes, make sure, especially Lamu, is on your bucket list. No two ways about that.
I agree. Yeah. Thanks for having me once again. It's been a pleasure talking about these places. For me, of course, it's also my home. I mean, I grew up over there, so I have a close connection to it. But yeah, it's always nice sharing more information about these places. We hope the information is going to help you to understand each zone much better. If you have any queries or questions, or you'd like to know more about us, please feel free to always send us an email, or you can always put a comment at the bottom of the page. But thank you so much for being with us through this journey. We hope you enjoy our shows. We try and give you some information and just try and increase your knowledge also about each place. So thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you in East Africa very soon.
Yeah.
Asante sana.
Thank you so much once again. And for more on our beautiful destinations, tune in next week for another episode of Safari Frame. As you know, Safari is our game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
And stay safe, and thank you for watching.